Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name is Lucia, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Pearl of the Pacific. Welcome to episode, I have no idea what number this is. I think it's 83. I have no idea. Hello and welcome. I'm sorry I've been gone for a few weeks. It was a lot longer than I intended. I kind of thought I would record, but then I was just too tired or didn't have time or wasn't here. And yeah, so a lot has been going on. Not a whole lot of knitting, unfortunately, but a whole lot of other things. So I'll show you the little knitting that I have. And also, I went to Stitches Midwest today, and so I have a lot of yarn things to show you, and I'll have a couple games that I got at GenCon last weekend, and I brought over the ones that we demoed that I think I talked about last year, but I can share them with you again. And then I got a sheep game that is really cute, so I thought I'd show that to you. And then the other games are kind of packed away, so I'll get to those another day. And I also have some Lego to show you, and I think I may show you part of my Batgirl costume. So that's kind of the schedules for today, so let's get going. First off, below the Conch show, we had the sock knit along that happened during June and July. Thank you all for knitting so many amazing socks and entering them into the thread. And I loved looking at them. They're very pretty. And so I drew for the prizes already, because while I was at Stitches, I wanted to get yarn for the person who won the yarn. And then the pattern person I will let you pick. So the yarn winner was number 32, who's Apple 380, who is Jamie from the UK. And I did a little bit of stalking on your project page and Ravelry profile page. And you said that you liked sock yarn, because I noticed that you knit a lot of socks. I mean, obviously this was going to be sock yarn. It's sock knit along. And you said that you liked galaxy themed things. And I happened to be standing in another Crafty Girl's booth, and she had yarn that the colorway name is Galaxy. So send me your address, and I will be sending this off to you. Gosh, the colors are weird. Usually I record in the morning when there's daylight, and it's really late at night. I mean, it's way past my bedtime, like way past my bedtime. But I thought I'll record tonight while I'm looking halfway decent, because tomorrow I'm not going to get out of my PJs, and it's going to be glorious. So this is for you, and it is in her Twinkle sock. So it's Super Rush Merino, Nylon, and Stellina. And it looks like a galaxy, and it's very pretty. So I hope you like it. We picked it out. Sarah was there with me. I'm like, okay, she likes galaxy. And she's like, well, I have a colorway named Galaxy. It's like, sounds great. So she gave me this to give to you. So send me your address, and I will get that shipped off shortly. And the pattern winner was number 80, who's Pink Hair Girl, Sally Jane. So, hi, Sally Jane. I watch her podcast. If you don't, you should go check her out, Pink Hair Girl Knits. She's very awesome, and you should watch her podcast. It's usually her and her daughter, and sometimes her other children show up with their knitting, and it's very exciting. Also, she's from South Africa, so she has an awesome accent, so she's awesome to listen to, too. So, Sally Jane, get in contact with me and let me know a sock pattern that you would like that I can gift to you. So, yay for that. Yeah, she knit, the one that won wasn't, she did knit the, my White Sandy Beach socks, but those weren't the ones that won. It was a different pair. So, yay for socks. So thank you all for knitting socks. I think we'll have to do this, maybe like an annual sock knit along thing, because I knit a lot of socks. I know you all knit a lot of socks, so why not enter them in a knit along? I don't have another knit along planned, but I think we'll do one for maybe September and October. As I think I like the 2-month one. It gives people a little more time. So give me ideas for knit alongs. Oh, I know. the other Jamie had the idea of doing a yarn bombing knit along. This is a good time to do knit because it's summer. It hasn't hit cold stuff. Let me know what you guys think about yarn bombing knit alongs. And we may do whether either you do the yarn bombing or like you take a picture of a good yarn bombing. Maybe 2 different prizes for 2 different categories of you doing a yarn bombing and you taking pictures of awesome yarn bombing. We'll figure this out. So weigh in with your thoughts below in some comments, either on YouTube or wherever you happen to be watching this. I do have my website back up. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I haven't been putting the videos on there yet. So for those of you who used to watch it on my website, you're probably not watching it on my website at the moment. I just need time. I haven't had very much time to do things, so okay, so that was Below the Conch. So get in contact with me, the winners, and I will get your prizes sent out to you. And yeah, on the island, I have one thing that I've actually worked on, and those are my Batgirl socks. And I got to see Amanda today, which I'll talk about a little later. And she told me that I got the inaugural skein of Batgirl. So I feel very privileged to be knitting with this. And I realized it totally matches my outfit. This morning when I was trying to get dressed for Stitches, I couldn't find socks that I wanted to wear that matched my outfit. I'm like, these match, but they're not done yet. So I found some other ones that were purple and green, and those were just fine. But it was funny. I'm like, I want to wear these, but they're not done yet. So I turned the second heel at dinner tonight. So they got 2 heels. And on the front, you can kind of see it. It's the bat symbol on the front. I did them like kind of spaced out. I think there's like 4 or 5 there. They're the pearl things. So I guess there's 4. So that is that. So I'm just going to continue doing those up the front. You can't really see them, but these are meant to go with my bat costume anyway. My Batgirl costume anyway. They're going to be in boots, so no one's really going to see them. And if I do wear them out, other than that, which I will, they just look cool anyway. So that's that. I will write up I'm not going to write a full pattern for these, but I will put the chart that I'm using. Because I originally did a chart and I didn't like it. It was just the bat symbol was too big and it was taking up the whole thing and just looked like a huge blob of pearl stitches. I was like, that's not going to work. So I made it much smaller. Here, I can actually show you the piece of paper that I'm going off of. And so you can see the original and then what I chicken scratched over the whole thing. So it's a little rudimentary, but it works. So I will put out the chart as a thing that people can use as just a free thing. I'm not going to charge for it. It's just a chart. And yeah. Oh, I forgot. Now I'm talking about these socks. Forgot to tell you the yarn. So yarn is GnomeAcres in the Batgirl colorway. And I had her dyed on the Bungalow Gnome base, which is superwash BFL and nylon. So you should check her out. She's pretty awesome. So I'll tell you funny stories later. We'll get to that later. So that's the only thing I've been really knitting on, and it hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention. I obviously didn't finish it in time to wear it with the costume at GenCon, but no one saw the sock, so it was fine. I had some black knit ones that I wore one day, and then I think I wore my stripy ones another day when I wore the costume. So those are getting some attention. Those should like zoom along now and be done fairly soon now that I'm actually back into knitting and not doing other things. So that's it. I know I have the summer sweater on there on my list here, but I haven't really touched it at all. So it's where it was last week. I still need to go back and fix one of the missed increases, and I've just been kind of avoiding ripping back 6 rows. But hopefully tomorrow I'll work on that, and also I want to work on some of my designs. Being at Stitches really made me want to work on my designs that I started in my head and just need to knit them. I have a sock design that I want to do and a shawl design that I want to do. And then after that, who knows? But those are the ones that like I've started already. And I just haven't had time to do them. So that is all for On the Needles. From the mainland, we'll do yarn from Stitches first. So I went with a list, and I got what was on my list, and I only got a couple extra things, which was really good. I was really proud of myself, and I felt very satisfied at the end. I was like, oh, I got everything on my list. And there was tons of beautiful yarn. Trust me, I could have bought a whole lot more, but I didn't. I was very good. So we'll start with things that are on my list. So one of my friends is having twin boys in a few months, and her baby shower is coming up very, very soon. I was like, oh my god, I need to knit some little baby sweaters for these cute, adorable boys that will be born in November. So I decided to go for some Mainland colors. I didn't want to go for baby boy colors. I'm like, no, we're going to go for like boy colors. And so I got some nice red, which is Poison Apple, which is from Leading Man Fiber Arts. I want a nice tonal red. It's a gorgeous tonal red. It's a lot bluer than it's looking on the screen. And the colors are really funky. I'm sorry. It's the lighting in my living room. This is what you're getting tonight. And so it's a DK. And actually, this was the one I found first, which is from Holiday Yarns, and it's Super Sheep DK in Starry Night. And I really like the tonal blues. And there's some gray in there too. And then I bought some Sun Valley Fibers in Kent in her BFL Superwash DK. These are all DK. It's a really dark gray. I know you can't see that at all. But it's a nice dark gray, and I'm going to do a trim out of it for these. And I was going to do a lighter gray, and then I was talking with Jenny, Java Jenny. Hello, Jenny. And she was saying that because this is going to a non-knitter. These are all superwash. But she's like, if one of these accidentally bleeds into this, if it gets, in the wash or something, this dark gray isn't going to show it as much as a lighter gray. So I thought, that was a good thought. Thank you, Jenny. So these are going to be the two sweaters for the twin boys, and these are going to be the trim. Because I think a skein will be enough for a baby sweater. They're due in November, so I'm going to knit it like a 0 to 3 month size so they can wear it for the winter and spring and stuff. And, yeah. So, I'm sure that'll be enough. And then I might knit like matching hats or something. So, that is one upcoming project that you will see on the needles very shortly. Very, very shortly. Because I think the baby shower's in like 2 weeks. It's a baby sweater a week. It's a baby sweater, so I should be fine. Yes, yarn. It's late night, and I'm like, wee! All sorts of crazy. Let's go with another crafty girl since she's on top here. So, I got a lot. Another crafty girl. I went a little wild. We'll start with these. These are the Sesame Street mini skeins. I love how she's packaged them. This is just so easy. So she just like twisted them all together. There's 2 sets of Sesame Street mini skeins. And I won't read you all the names, but they're all the Sesame Street characters in mini skeins. Well, she has them in full, like you can buy them as full skeins, but I wanted the mini skeins. So I may mini skein them up and put them back here for a little while. Although she had a sample sock that was knit just like one mini skein after another in stripes, which is kind of what I plan on doing with these guys in socks. So I may do that. Also, I also saw someone who did a cowl with mini skeins. It was like a mini skein and then a solid and a mini skein. And it was the same solid throughout the whole thing. It was like a nice gray, but it was, colorful mini skein, solid gray. Colorful mini skein, solid gray. Just a stripe thing. I was like, oh, that's a nice way to do it. And then it's a cowl instead of socks. So I may do that. But anyway, they were too pretty not to pass up. And I love Sesame Street. So yay for those. And then I'm also a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. and she had some How to Train Your Dragon colorways, and I stopped myself from buying all of them because they were so pretty. But this is Small But Plentiful, which is died after the island of Berk, which if you know How to Train Your Dragon, it's the island that they all live on, and it is totally my colors, and I love it. I have no idea what's going to be. Probably a shawl because I want it near my face. So pretty. And then I got Unholy Offspring in a worsted, and this is the Toothless colorway. I'd been eyeing this for a really long time, and I saw it, and I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Sarah's like, you're going to make a hat. I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Thanks, Sarah. The benefits of knowing your yarn dyers. So, ta-da! So I got that, and I went into the Knit Circus booth, which I do all the time because I love her stuff. And this is Pebble Beach by Helen Stewart out of Knit Circus. I forget what base it is. It might be the Pirouette base. I really have no idea. And the colorway is Fireflies. So I went to show it to Jala, and I went to the sale bin and got some, what is this? Brass and Steam. And it's a lovely yellow to gray gradient. So it's a grello is what it is, but I love it. And yay, this is Greatest of Ease. So it's merino nylon. And they're matching sock skeins. So I love the matching sock skeins. So I have some of that. That wasn't necessarily on my list, but I did want some yellow for socks. So that's perfect because then the foot can be in the gray and then like the leg will be in the yellow. So the foot won't get as dirty and then you get it. Anyway. And then I also wanted some fingering weight sweater quantities for me. So this is the first one I got because last year I got some fingering weight, or I got one fingering weight sweater quantity, but it was kind of dark and variegated, and all the patterns that I've been looking at, I need like light colors. So I was hanging out next to the Lost City Knits booth, and I found this piece of gorgeousness. So this is their Pathway sock, which is superwash, 100% superwash merino in spring. I think it's spring shoots. I thought it was spring ghost. Now that I'm looking at this, it's totally spring shoots. It's a lovely pastel green. And I know the colors are absolutely terrible right now. I'm sorry, but that's okay. I'll show it to you when I'm actually... Oh, that's actually not so bad. If I hold them back here. There you go. So I got 2 skeins of that, which I'm probably going to knit a Hito Fude out of. I'm wanting to knit the Hito Fudes. I hung out with Megan of Stockinette Zombies, and she's like on year of Hito Fude-ness. So she bought some yarn for a new Hito Fude, so you'll be seeing that. It's beautiful. And so I bought this to do mine out of. So, because the yarn I have will be perfect for a different sweater, but I wanted that for... It was too busy for the lace, from what I thought. I mean, I probably would have worked, but... And I also picked up this bit of gorgeousness, which is Miss Babs Katahdin in Carry On. And that is 1,700 yards of yarn. I think that's going to be enough to do a lot with. So this is going to be a sweater for me. And yeah, I need to actually knit myself another sweater. I've had a few on the list and just haven't done them. So now that summer it's not quite ending, but soon-ish. And what else did I get? Oh, and then I went to the GnomeAcres booth. So here, okay, funny story. So here's the funny story that I was going to tell earlier, and I'm going to tell it now. I had posted a picture of the Batgirl costume, and Amanda had said, like, you should wear that to Stitches as a joke. And I thought, the thought had crossed my mind, like, just as I thought it would be funny. And, I mean, I already have the costume. So I contacted Emily Straw, who has the Knitting Butterflies podcast, who's super adorable. I love her. and because she was going to be there with her camera, and we had talked about maybe doing a photo session of me with my designs that are not done yet. So I said, well, I don't have my designs ready to photograph, but would you be willing to do my Batgirl costume? I'd like a few, good shots of it. She's like, yes. I was like, okay. So I brought it, and we did it early this morning. She's like, come before the market opens, and we'll do it in the morning, when it's not hot and the lighting's good. So we did it at like 9:30 this morning before the market opened at 10. And so I was already wearing it. And I was like, I'm going to go into that market just wearing it and freak Amanda out. She lost it. It was so great. I walked up and I was like, so I hear you dye some yarn based on my colors. It was great. It was totally worth it. People were so confused. They were like, great costume. Like, people were taking pictures of it, but they were so confused. They were like, are you at the wrong convention? Like, are you okay in the head? I mean, they didn't say these things to me. Like, they asked me jokingly, are like, you at the wrong convention? I'm like, no, I'm here, I'm a knitter. I'm here for the knitting. I'm just doing this as kind of a joke. But it was fun. It was fun to wear it. So I went to the GnomeAcres booth and hung out for a little bit as Batgirl. And you may see pictures of me holding Batgirl yarn. Because what else are you going to take pictures with in your Batgirl costume than Batgirl yarn? So I went there, and so I got some Batgirl, of course. And I got some in the worsted, so I can make a hat or a cowl or something to go with my socks, or to go with the shawl, because clearly I need more yellow and purple, because those seem to be my colors. So I'm really excited. This is her squishy gnome, 100% superwash merino in Batgirl. So I got some of that this morning. And then I went and changed out of the costume after all that, and then, but it was fun. Everyone thought it was awesome, so yay! And then people were like, "Wait, you were in costume? I didn't see you." I was like, I was in and out of there. It was so fast, but that was fun. So I did wear it at Stitches today as a joke, but it was totally fun, and yeah, it was fun. Okay, next. I got some other things at Amanda's booth. I got some buttons to go on the baby sweaters. Because aren't these the cutest things? Oh, yes. These were like little boy baby sweaters. Buttons. You should come see these, Jeremy. They're little robots. They're super cute. So these are going to go on sweaters for the little boys. And, sorry, I'm digging through my bag here. I also got the bag. Ta-da! The GnomeAcres bag. So now I got some GnomeAcres bag. And what else we got here? I got, oh, that's a gift, so we'll get that later. That one's also a gift. This one, oh, this is Quicksilver. I got a key skein of Quicksilver because I love that. That one's for me. And what else did I get? Oh, I got a tape measure because you can never have too many tape measures. And oh, this is the other thing I got. It's a little smushed, but I got a little Gelby. That's why it's a little smushed, because I put stuff in there. I'll clear this out. All right, here it is. It's this gorgeous batik bag with a nice square bottom. And I don't know what she did with it, but it's really rigid. And when you prop it open, it actually stays open. And it's this lovely light batik fabric on the inside, so it's really easy to see inside. Oh yes, it's glorious. I actually bought this for a dice bag because the dice bag I have is too small for all my accumulating dice, like my GenCon. Every year you can get, there's coupons in the coupon book to get free die, like one free die for that year. So they have like the GenCon die for that year. So it's kind of like our yearly souvenir is the GenCon die. But it means my dice collection is expanding, so I needed a little bigger bag. So this is going to be perfect because because I didn't want it too big. Some dice bags are just big, and I'm like, I don't have that many dice. Like, whoa. But I needed a little bit more. So it has a little Shelby thing on it, which I think is super cute. So, ta-da! And also, she had made these kits for, I think for SSK, and she had a few left over, and she had kept them for, like, by request only. I was like, oh my god, please, please have one when I go on Saturday. And she did. It's the Star Trek Stitch Kit, and they're brilliant. So it comes with a tin with the Star Trek logo felted on there. And then it comes with a set of stitch markers, 2 in each color. And then the start of the round, kind of like Star Trek symbol thing. So I'm super excited about this. She brought it out. As soon as I walked into the booth, she brought it out. I was like, oh my god, there's still one left. There's actually a few left. She's like, no one's asked for them. I'm like, what? They just don't know they're here. So I'd almost forgot about it. I had kind of given up hope, so I'm really excited. So, yay. Because I have 2 Star Trek bags. Because I have this one, and then, so this one's gonna go in here, because it's black and white. It'll go in this one. And then I have the Stitch by Jessalou one. But I have the tricorder that goes in there. So this one's gonna go in this bag. So I'm really excited about that. And I think that's it. And then I swapped some mini skeins with people. And yeah. So last night I had fun making mini skeins. So I put them all in my little skein bag. So I have little skeins in my little skein bag. I came up with that today. I was like, I'm so clever. Not really, but that's okay. And while I was at dinner, I got this bag. I met a whole bunch of people today, and I'm sorry, it's late at night, and I've totally forgotten everyone's name. But while I was at dinner, one of the people there was giving away some bags that she made because she's moving. And she's like, I don't need all these bags. So she was giving some away. And so I picked out the sock one because isn't that fun? It's fun. It's got like all kinds of socks. So that's a nice sock bag I got. I will figure out who that's from and let you all know because I've totally forgotten by this point. But I made a whole bunch of mini skeins last night. And yeah. And then I traded for some. So these are the 3 I got today. I'm not doing anything with mini skeins except for putting them up here to make pretty background. So I'm going to put them more. This is another GnomeAcres one that I traded with someone. And I've heard the story. So this is the yellow plus blue equals green colorway. And apparently it was really late at night and she'd made this gorgeous colorway. I love this colorway. And she's like, I can't think of a name. She's like, it's blue and it's yellow. And her husband was like, there you go. Blue plus yellow equals green. That's your colorway name. You're done. It's like, that's such a great story. But it's such a cool color. Again, the colors are not coming out. There, that's okay. So, I got that one and some other ones. But now I have a ton of mini skeins for things. So I didn't have time to label them, but I know what most of them are. I say most of them because as soon as I said, oh, I know what all of them are, someone picked one up and I was like, what is that? I don't remember. I'm like, I know what I knit out of it, so we can go look it up. But then it just totally blanked. So, Jamie, who won the sock yarn, if you would like a mini skein in your package, I don't know if you're doing a sock yarn blanket of sorts, let me know and I can throw one in. So whatever things I send out, I will send mini skeins because now I have a ton made up. They're 9 grams each. I weighed them. They're about 9 grams. I'm not going to say they're all 9 grams. Some might be a little more or a little less, but it's close enough. So, and I got a couple stitch markers and now I don't know where I put them. So, they're in here. Let's see if I can get them. Yeah, they're in my tricorder with everything else. So I got, let's see if I can get them out here. Where are they? Here's one. Ta-da! I got this one. And again, I'm forgetting who I got it from. I got it from it like early in the morning, and now I can't remember. Oh, and then Danny from Prairie Girls Knit and Spin gave me this one. She said she made it for me. It's so great. So yay, that'll go in my Doctor Who bag. So I'm really excited about that because I think I gave away my TARDIS one in a swap because it went with the swap so well that I was like, it's just gonna go. So I'm very excited to have one back. Yay. So that was that, and that's it for Stitches. I'm making sure I think I got everything. I got some other things. I got like a bunch of like pocket pins, like buttons, pin on button things, whatever you call those, from people. And so those will add to my button collection. And I did put some on my bag today, so I could have some swag. I also have one of the Ravelry, like my name is, and then I have my Pearl of the Pacific, so people know who I am. Because a lot of people, like, they recognize your Pearl of the Pacific, or like your Instagram name or your Ravelry name, and they're like, wait, who are you? I'm the crazy one that dresses up a Batgirl. That's how you know me at this point. So that's it for yarn. Now I have some games and other nerdy things to show you. But I'll show you the Batgirl cowl. This is kind of the coolest thing. This thing, it really was so simple and it's so effective. So here it is. Ta-da! So this is how the cowl turned out. I don't know if I showed this earlier in like its earlier cardboard form, but it's made of the inner part is cardboard. It's cereal box cardboard. So there's the inner of my cereal boxes. My cereal boxes tend to have things on the inside, apparently, like games and mazes and things. That's right. And then the next layer was like paper mache. And then the layer after that, I think, was some more of the paper mache mix without the newspaper. But I put in acrylic paint and I just painted the whole thing black so that it had a base of black. And then I sprayed it in Plasti Dip, which is basically like rubber spray on. A lot of people use it on cars because if you spray it on a car, you can just peel it off all in one piece if you ever needed to do that anyway. But it gives it nice like rubbery feel and it's still flexible, so it's still quite pliable. I'll put it on later, but so this is, I'll just put it on now. It's not that hard. So, ta-da! This is the Batgirl cowl. Hello. And it turned out really well. The only thing that's weird is that I can't hear as well out of it because it covers my ears. But other than that, it's actually pretty comfortable, considering. I was afraid that like these would poke me or this would poke me, but I actually adjusted it enough where it's really quite comfortable. So, ta-da! So I'm really happy with how that turned out, along with some other things that there were some costume debacles that happened right before GenCon that by some miracle I saved. Because I had put the bat symbol on and it was awful the way I had done it. And so I actually, close to our hotel, there was a Michael's, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby right next to each other. I don't know why they're all next to each other, but they were. So I went and visited the trio and found some perfectly matching foam and was able to fix the bat symbol and therefore save the costume and wear it. So that was really nice. But I was a little distraught after I'd kind of ruined it and then fixed it. So yeah, everyone loved it, and everyone loved the Waldo and Wenda costumes as well. Those went really well. Now the cat's knocking stuff over. So those were really fun to wear. I realized that they are the greatest photobombing costumes ever. So I may have done some photobombs on purpose and not on purpose. Yeah. So, but the Batgirl costume was super fun to wear. Everyone loved it. I got interviewed by a TV channel. I don't even remember which one it was. I was like walking between things. They're like, hey, do you want to talk to us? I'm like, sure. And I got asked to join the Cosplay Association of Indiana. I don't live in Indiana, so that was like, that's not really going to work. But that was cool for them to ask. And yeah, I was like, wow, I've now hit the next level of costuming. I've now gone to like full-on cosplay. So that was fun. Anyway, enough about that. I'm really tired now, and I start to ramble a lot when I'm tired. As my husband nods his head. I'm now doing a lot of rambling, so I'm sorry. Okay, next, games. So, oh God, that's not good. That got in the water. Cat water. Comics, not good. Okay, we're going to put that over here. Okay, move cat water. Show games. We can do this. I'm really tired. Okay, so the games that we were demoing this weekend were designed and drawn by our friend Erin. And the one I demoed the most is Villagers and Villains. And this is a town building game where you're the mayor of a town and you are trying to build the best town possible. And you do that by going through a number of phases. The first one is recruiting. So there's like, it's a deck of cards. They're really cool cards. Let me show you a few. And like, here's the shop. So this is the shop. So you have a line of cards and you have to say which one you want and roll a die and recruit and stuff like that. And then they go into your hand. And then there's some challenge cards that you might have to defeat. And then later you can earn money from the citizens, and then you can build buildings like this one. You use the gold. So that down there is the cost in gold, and then that's the value at the end. So then you add up points based on like who has highest town value, who defeated most challenges, a bunch of other things. So that's that game. And we just launched a new expansion for it called City Builders. And so a lot of people were there because the art on this is super cool. I love this cover art. I could just stare at it for hours. There's tons of little things in there that Erin put in. So that's really exciting. And it adds the ability for you to have 6 players with villagers. And it also adds some extra abilities for you to purchase during like build higher phase. And some more awesome art. Oh, here's a good one. This is the Queen's favorite card. I love this card. Because there's a thing in the game called the King's Favor that you can get. And you can use it to do different things, like add 2 to die roll, or move start marker, or things like that. And so the Queen's Favor trumps the King's Favor, basically. And it says if no one's used the King's Favor, you can just take it and move. I think you can put it back into the recruitment pool. So, like, the Queen trumps the King. So I just think that's hilarious. So that was that game. And then Treasures and Traps was the one that I usually demo, but somehow I didn't end up demoing it as much this year. And this is a game, it's an adventure card game where you're trying to get gold, silver, and bronze before your friends. And it's really quick to learn. It's quick to play, which is great. And so here's an example of a silver treasure. And every card has an enter and exit roll. So in order to get it from your hand into your play, you need to roll enter rolls. And if you need to get things out of play, you roll exit rolls, such and so forth. And the rest of the rules are kind of down here at the bottom. And it's pretty simple. So that's another really fun one. And then last year we launched Random Encounters as the new expansion. And it came in this nice big box so you can fit everything. Because the original game is 100 cards, and once you start getting any expansion for it, it doesn't fit in the box. Like the box just fits 100 cards. So this fits everything. It fits, the original 100 cards, the additional 2 expansions, and then random encounter expansion. So I think there's now we're up to 175 cards or something like that. Tokens, dice, things like that. So in a nice big box. And here's another Villagers expansion that we launched last year that just adds some fun cards. There's one in here called Children, Normally, citizens earn you money each round, but children takes money from you each round. But it has a high value at the end of the game. So it's a high point play, but you have to have the income for it, which is funny because that's kind of how children are. I love that card. And then our other one is Hero versus Guardian, which Aaron signed. You can see his lovely signature here. I don't know why he hasn't signed our other ones. We just haven't gotten to do it. I mean, I see him practically every day, but I just haven't had him sign our games. And this is called a game of dungeon craft. So this is it's a two-sided game where one person builds the dungeon and hides the treasure room in there and tries to protect it, and the other person is a two-sided box. I love this box. Is the adventurer, and they're going in to try to free this treasure from these horrible goblins and dragons and things that are hoarding it. So it's a really fun game, especially. This is really popular this year because a lot of people like dungeon crawl games, but a lot of dungeon crawl games take forever to play. They're really long. I mean, minimum 2 hours, usually 4. Sometimes, like, if you're a gamer, you know the game Descent, it can take you 14 hours to play. So this is a great alternative to people who like that idea of the dungeon crawl, but don't like or don't have 14 hours to play Descent. So this one was really popular this year because it takes a little over an hour. It's really fun. And it also gives the option of not only adventuring into the dungeon, but creating the dungeon. So it's a whole other side of it that not a whole lot of games have. So those are the games that we showed this year that you could come and play or demo at our booth. We also had events that you could go to play through like the whole thing because we were just running a few rounds at the booth just to give you the idea of the games. And then you could go to the events and play through the whole game. Oh, nice, Pan. He's just plopped himself on top of everything. Aren't you cute? So those are the games that we were there to demo. And then while we were there, we also played other people's games. And one that we demoed last year that I had looked at getting and I just hadn't gotten is called Sheer Panic. And I just thought this was hilarious. So it's a game where you have a flock of sheep and you go through the fields. There's 4 different fields. Here, I'll open it. I love the pieces in this game. So you go through, no, there's 2. There's one for more players and less players. And so you go through the field. So you jump off the truck here, and then you go through the field where you are, you're trying to be close to your friends. You're playing tag or something. I don't know what the story is. Anyway, you're trying to get your sheep close to the sheep of the same color, and that's how you score points. And then the next field is with Roger the ram. So then you're trying to be closest to Roger because Roger's adorable. So here, let me show you. So the pieces are the greatest thing about this game. Like, I wasn't going to buy it if the pieces were cheap, but they're like actual ceramic pieces. So this is Roger. He's even got a little rose. Isn't he adorable? If I was a sheep, I'd be all over that. And he's pretty cute. So that's Roger, and these are what the sheep look like. They're pretty cute. So they're on these pieces that you can move around in a board. And then they've all got the color on their back. So you're trying to keep them close to each other the first round. Then you're trying to keep them close to Roger, and who's in the front in the second round. And then I forget the third one. You're trying to keep them closest to the black sheep. There's a black sheep in here. And then the fourth round is the shearing. And you don't want to get sheared because as soon as you get sheared, you get taken off the board and then you can't score points. So this is the sheep shearing station. So you want to be toward the back. You want to be as far away from the sheep shearing station as possible because, you don't want to get sheared. So this is the sheep shearing station. I just think they're so cute. And they're like ceramic and painted and really nice pieces. So that was super cool. So that's the basics of that game. I think it's really cool. I did bring it today, but I didn't have a chance to bring it out. So if I ever make it to any sort of knitting retreat of any sorts, I will bring this game and we can play Sheer Panic. So I just thought it was so fun. We actually, my husband and I played it the other night. And once we figured it out, it was good. It took us a little while to refigure it out because he had demoed it last year at GenCon. So it took us a little while to refigure it out. I think, the Lego stuff. Okay, I'm looking at my list. I'm sorry, I'm so discombobulated. I'm a little out of practice. I almost forgot my tagline in the beginning. I was like, this is not good. There it is. Okay. You put it over here, and I so nicely put it somewhere where I could reach it and forgot. Oh, I'm getting old. So, I'm here to show you the Mystery Machine. So this is some of the new Scooby-Doo Lego that just came out, and this is the Mystery Machine. Just came out, right? Yeah. Okay. You can now, actually it's back ordered online, I learned from Amanda today, but some stores have it, and it'll ship in a few weeks.
In essence, I'm going to say a lot. It came out on August 1st. We sold out of the first bit that came through. More will trickle through. If you see it on a shelf and it's something that you want to get
it.
Don't wait. Eventually
it'll come back and there'll be more, but
we'll catch up with the desire for purchasing.
Right now the demand is really high.
The demand is super high, and it's not a terribly expensive set for such an iconic car.
And it's so good. So, I mean, if you know Scooby-Doo at all, like, this is totally the shape of the car. Like, they nailed it. It's really cool. And the back opens up, which is really fun. And the roof comes off really easily. So I will show you. Here is Shaggy. Ah! I just knocked Shaggy's hair off. There was a Shaggy and a, who's the one with the short hair? That's Velma? Yeah, there was a Shaggy and Velma that came to the booth this weekend, or last weekend. Come on, Shaggy, what's going on with your hair? Here we go. Here's Shaggy with his hair. Ta-da! I'm so cool. I'm Shaggy. So this is, and then we'll put him back. I know you were so nicely looking out the window. Sorry, dude. And then, of course, here's Scooby-Doo, the dog. Very nice. Very nice. And then inside the car is awesome. So you have a Scooby sandwich, of course, because you gotta have some Scooby snacks, right? And then, like, there's a sticker in here with, like, a bulletin board of bad guys that you need to catch and some other important information on the side. And then, of course, like a radar tracking thing, and I think there's a camera, maybe I think it's a flashlight. Is that a stove? Because it is a camper van. So that's pretty cool. And there's a sink in there under the sandwich. This is like the kind of kitchen area. I think this is a tape deck of some sort, or I don't know what it is, but oh, here's the alert danger thing. I don't know if you can see these. Anyway, and then up front you've got, like, oh nice, they've got the really big magnifying glass. That's what they're called. And Fred, that's his name. Fred has the magnifying glass.
He iconically always drives the Mystery Machine. So.
Does he? Okay.
Yes.
I haven't watched Scooby-Doo in a while, so maybe we need to watch some Scooby-Doo. So, this is the Mystery Machine. It's really awesome. If you like Scooby-Doo and or Lego, you should get this if you can find it. It'll come back, like, once with other sets that have been in really high demand. In the beginning, they're really hard to find, and then once the supply catches up, they're easier to find. So don't be dismayed if you cannot find it right away and you really want it. Wait a little bit and it will come. So this is the Mystery Machine, and it comes with the thing that's in my lap. I was like, where did I put it? It's in my lap. it comes with a bad guy hiding in the tree, the evil-looking tree. That's a really mean-looking tree. And in the back, what is it? It's got a picture of the Mystery Machine. Some high-tech thingy. So, I don't know. This isn't a specific bad guy, is it? It's just a random monster.
And if you look carefully at the back of the head, you can see the place where the mask closes around. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, because at the end of all the Scooby-Doo episodes, there is always like an unmasking of the bad guy. So you can see this is a masked bad guy.
Old Man Walters. Ah, of course it was you.
It's really fun. So
I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
So there you go. So that is the Mystery Machine. And I think that's it. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I was in the comic book store by my work, and I was showing the guy pictures of my Batgirl costume, because when I originally went in to get Batgirl comics to do research for my Batgirl costume, he was like, come in when you're done with it. So I came in and showed him pictures, and I got this. So it's an annual. This was the thing I was worried it got a little wet from the cat waters over here. I mean, it's fine. It's just the top corner. But I guess it's a self-contained story. So it's not part of the overarching storyline that's going on right now. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to read that tonight or maybe tomorrow when I have a little more brain power. But I think that's it. Considering I had very, very little knitting, that was a long podcast. So, sorry. But I'm back. I don't have any major things planned on weekends for a while. So I should be back on a normal recording schedule from now on. I say that like I know what I'm going to do it. So we'll see. But that's the plan at the moment. I don't have any crazy things like GenCon that take over my life. Like, literally, that was all I did. I mean, my dad's birthday was in the middle of it, and I barely had time to call him. I'm like, hi, Dad. Happy birthday. I love you. Bye. And that was kind of the entirety of the conversation. I haven't forgotten. Your present's coming. My brother's taking care of it because my brother's awesome. And so it literally is all consuming. But it's so fun. I'm so glad I did it. And I forgot to mention, I went to dinner with some of the knitters while I was there. If you follow me on Instagram, as with a lot of things, if you follow me on Instagram, you're more up to date than if you just watch the podcast, because I either forget things or I'm late in telling you things. So I got to hang out with who all was there? Sarah, who's another crafty girl, and her fiance were there. And trying to go around the table. Amy Beth, Fat Squirrel, was there. And Joanna Spring of Knitspin Farm was there with her husband. And Dark Matter Knits and her son were there. And then me and another friend, Libby, was there. So that was super fun to hang out with them and talk about things. And yeah. And then after GenCon, we went and hung out with Joanna and Sarah at the farm and got to hang out with some farm animals. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will see me with a goat and a sheep. And it was a really nice way to end. It was literally the perfect end to 60,000 people and then a sheep and goats. And I'm like, you don't care what I say. You just want food. So here, food, and you're cute and we're good. I don't have to interact with you in any sort of way. It was really good. And we played some games, ate some food, talked about some stuff, and then drove home. So it was a really great weekend. And I will probably talk more about it on later podcasts. But that's kind of the general things that have been going on in my life. And I hope you are all doing well and didn't miss me too much. Steve gave me a little flack about it today, of Leading Men Fiber Arts, also Dramatic Knits. And he was like, where have you been? I was like, stuff. Life happened. So I'm back, Steve. Are you happy? Anyway, I know I felt kind of bad about going on such a hiatus, but life happens. You all understand. We're all good. So have a good week, and I will see you soon. Bye.